Alright, so in the previous video, we were able to set up the path, permanent path to our Flutter SDK, and we were able to install all of the other tools using command line here. Actually, terminal, command line is on for Windows, using the terminal to get all of the information that we want, all of the tools that we need. But we also said that we got this information that says IntelliJ IDEA, which is going to be the IDE we're going to be using to learn Dart, the Dart programming language, which is used in Flutter framework to create Android and iOS apps. So we're going to go ahead and set up our IntelliJ with Flutter plugin and the Dart plugin. So if you haven't downloaded IntelliJ, or maybe you skipped a few videos before, it's easy. Just type in IntelliJ, download as such, and click on this first link. Right? If you're on Windows, obviously you go to Windows tab here. If you're Mac, I'm on Mac, this is where you are. And if you're Linux, the same thing. The process is still the same, as you can see, right? Windows, Mac, or Linux. For Mac, I would suggest you take the community version, which is the free version. If you want to buy the ultimate IDE, the ultimate package for enterprise development, go ahead and do that. For our case here, we just need the free one. So click on download and follow the process. It's really, really easy. All right, perfect. Once you've done that, what we need to do now is to open it. So I already have it. I'm going to say IntelliJ IDEA. If this is your first time opening up IntelliJ, you won't see any of this. It's going to be empty. The reason why you're seeing all of this is because I've been using IntelliJ for a little while now. That's why you see all this project. But fear not. So what we are interested in, if this is the first thing that you see, you can go to Configure here, and we're going to go to Plugins. Okay, so Plugins, and at the top here, what are you going to do? You're going to just go ahead and type Dart. And chances are you're not going to see anything, which means you have to say search in repositories, because that's where we want to get this from. So click search repositories, and voila, we have the Dart language. Okay, so just go say click or install in the case. We're going to go back and say Flutter, since we're here, and says this one, the first one's Flutter language. Click install, and let's go ahead and restart our IntelliJ. Say OK and restart. All right, so it seems like it has restarted. To check and see if this has indeed worked, let's go ahead and say create new project. And the moment you do that, this is going to happen. You'll see to the left here, there's this nice tab, and you'll see that we have now Flutter. And look at that, it uses users published Flutter SDK, very nice. And it has Dart, which also used the Dart SDK that was installed previously. So once you hear, so in Dart, you notice that it says here, please set Dart SDK path. Simply what you need to do, because the SDK, the Dart SDK again, is inside the Flutter, because remember, the Dart is the language and the Flutter is a framework which we use in conjunction with Dart programming language to build our Android and iOS applications, right? Cross-platform applications. So click here, and what do you need to do? You have to go to where you put the path where we downloaded our Flutter SDK. So I'm going to click and go to users. Okay, this is on Mac. This is where I added it. I'm going to go actually to users like this. Already shown. Let's go to find Flutter. Where are you? There we go. Flutter. There it is. I'm going to go to bin, the binary folder. I'm going to go to cache, and you notice there is indeed a Dart SDK. So click on that and say OK. The moment you do that, you notice now we are loading a lot of stuff here. Okay. So because we said Dart is a language that can be used to do all sort of things, not just building cross-platforms iOS and Android apps, because you can see we can use Dart for Angular Dart Web, bare bones web, console application, which is what we're going to be using, okay, for us to start learning Dart language. There is Dart package and so many things. So we're going to focus on the console application here, command line. Once you do that, say next, and we can now create a project. I'm going to set this project to somewhere else. There we go. And what I'm going to call this one here, I'm going to say hello Dart. Say finish. We should create our hello Dart project. Take a minute to process, and look at that. And it's doing its thing, recompiling everything. Oh, the beauty, folks. So getting all the libraries to work perfectly, and there we go. So now we have our Dart skeleton application here that is importing something which we don't know much about yet. Okay, we'll look in all into that. We're going to look all of this at a later time, but at least we know now that things are indeed working. So if I go ahead and keep it a run here like this, we should see it says hello world 42. Very nice. So we wrote our first hello world. Well, we didn't quite write it, but the skeleton application, console application, was able to create a main method. This is a method here, a function, and we're passing in arguments, and then we're printing this hello world, and we're concatenating this code that calculate method, which calculates and gives us 42. Okay, very cool. So we're able to run our first our first semi hello world Dart application, which means now we are set to start learning Dart. Perfect. So if you are able to make it to here where everything is working perfectly, congratulations. If not, go back and rewatch these videos, this past 2 videos or so. And if still having issues, luckily we have all of this information that will guide us through the whole process to install on Mac and other operating systems as well. So follow through with my videos, and if something is not right, just come here and make sure you did exactly as they say us to do here, and what I say in the videos as well. All right. Oh, this is very exciting, and I hope you are as excited as I am to dive into the code and start learning this beautiful, wonderful language called Dart, which then we will leverage the language to start looking at building apps using the Flutter cross-platform framework for us to build Android and iOS apps with just one code base. All right, are you ready? Perfect. I'll see you in the next video.